The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Hi besties, it's Yamini Nambimadom. Thanks so much for listening to Pillow Fight. If you're new here, every week we play a couple of rounds of Marry, Kill, and Would You Rather based on recent headlines and finish off the episode with some good old-fashioned Truth or Dare. If you like the show, give us a little like wherever you're listening, and if you're feeling extra generous, leave a review. We want to hear all about your favorite moments from the episode. If you prefer watching the show, check it out on Big Comedy Network's YouTube channel. This week, I'm joined by Morgan J. Morgan's a musician and comedian based in Los Angeles. You can watch him on Wild 'N Out, Comedy Central, all over Instagram and TikTok. By the time you're hearing this, his brand new special will be out on YouTube, so go give it a watch. Let's get into the episode.
Pillow fight, pillow fight. Is yours made of goose? And we got feathers flying everywhere. Mine's made of goose. Pillow fight, pillow fight. This is so fun. We're pillow fighting. Why is it so fun? Pillow fight.
Is that you in the background? The cardboard cutout?
That's what I wear in the special because when we were actually filming, I couldn't take photos with any like fans who bought tickets to the recording. So we just had that in the lobby so people could take photos with me. But now I have it. I couldn't get rid of it, you know?
Yeah. Is it your size? Like, is it exactly?
It is my size. Do you want to see? Check this out. It's only just like slightly smaller, but I think that's just because when they print it, that's what happens.
He adds a few inches to his dating app profile.
Yeah, that's right. He wears lifts, you know.
Well, there's no shame in that. He's got pictures with lots of hot girls, I'm sure,
yes,
to put on that profile too.
And then that's also a photo of me too, over there. And then behind the cutout of me is a nude charcoal of me.
That's amazing. The charcoal is covered by your cutout.
Exactly. We can't have the.
It's tasteful.
It's tastefully covered up. Yeah.
You know that picture that like every guy had in high school of like the one time his dad took him to a basketball game or something like that, and it's like all the cheerleaders, and it's like a 13-year-old boy like with a shading grin on his face. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't have that experience, but I do know what you're talking about because I'm pretty sure I went to a bar mitzvah or two where I saw a photo of like of that, like a photo like that, or even at the bar mitzvah. I'm not Jewish, but I went like long story short.
I did the bar mitzvah circuit too.
Yeah, and you just sort of see that, and like there's like a pretty girl, you know what I mean? Like they get a photo with some bosomy older woman, or
it's
like
a
medieval
Facebook
times.
cover photo for months. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Renaissance fairs. There's all kind of events to do that at, but I feel like so many guys got that photo and it was just a Facebook cover photo for years.
I was going to say, even if it's like prom or homecoming, you know, the dad be like, all right, ladies, let's get a photo with my boy. All
Exactly.
the ladies, circle, you know, Michael.
But I feel like your cardboard cutout has pictures like that with hot girls everywhere. Circulating the internet.
Well, you know, I do be torn, so I do be getting photos. You know, it's really funny now that I'm torn. Look, I'm not like selling tickets like Matt Rife is, but I'm selling tickets, and I will have, and I get a lot of women come to my shows, and they also bring their boyfriends. I do, but like when it comes to the end of the show and they want to take a photo, usually the girl's like tells her boyfriend like, get the fuck out of the photo. Let me take a photo with this dude. It's very funny. It's very fun. Like, you want a photo with him, right?
Yeah, I mean, also if you bring your boyfriend to a show and you're not sure that he's going to be around forever and you're a fan of the person, I don't think you want to like remember you're meeting that person with that partner.
Know, when I graduated college, I had a girlfriend at the time, and my mom made sure that I got some photos alone without my college girlfriend.
Yeah, and she had the right vision in mind.
She knew.
Yeah.
She knew what was up, you know?
That's the mom version of getting the bosomy girls in the photo. The mom version is making sure the current girlfriend is not taking over the monumental moment photos.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, my mom doesn't like women, as far as I can tell. I don't know if you have an immigrant mom, but I feel like it's just like she saw them as a distraction. So
yeah, for you or women in general.
Well, I think for me, for her boys, I think, she had 3 sons. I think, she's going to be picky about she's also like came to America with a suitcase. You know what I mean? So any woman that I end up with, gotta have some spirit in her. You know what I mean? Some fight.
No, I know what you mean. I have immigrant parents too. I think that they are more picky about the kind of people that my brother dates because I think they're more worried he'll choose the wrong people to date, or like that he'll just kind of
by wrong. By wrong? Do you mean white? Like, because I only say that because like my sister-in-law is Chinese, and I know that her parents didn't approve of my brother for a while.
I don't think my parents have that issue, but my parents' cousin, my dad's cousin. I said my parents' cousin as if they share cousins. That's not true. I want to clear that up quickly. My father's cousin married a white man, and her parents didn't come to the wedding and were like actively praying that he would die. Like they would pray to God every day.
I definitely got the sense of my brother's wedding that my sister-in-law's mother wasn't happy at the wedding. She was there, but I think at one point she like left the wedding to like go cry in the bathroom. I could be wrong about that. But
that was just the vibe you were picking up.
I think, and usually my vibes are correct. I feel like I'm pretty intuitive. I even think somebody might have said, I mean, here's the thing. If you're going to cry tears of joy, you cry it in front of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At an event like that. But if you're going somewhere to like be alone to like mourn, I guess,
Yeah.
Why are you gonna hide? Why are you gonna hide tears? Why are you gonna hide tears at a wedding? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not ever because you're happy for the couple.
Yeah.
I think that white people weddings, like I always see them on Instagram, and I'm like, that looks so fun to attend. I feel like you're getting all these pictures. People are flirting, drinking. It's a great time. Every wedding I've ever been to for family has been the most torturous, dramatic event of all time. At my aunt's wedding.
What's your background again?
My parents are both Indian. They moved to the U.S. for grad school in the 80s.
Do you know the comedian Sammy Obeid? He just posted a clip of him doing comedy at an Indian wedding, and he was talking about how Indian weddings last like for a whole fucking like they last forever, like they never end.
I know
it's like a saga.
About. Yeah, they're so long. There's so many events. It's like a sorority recruitment. Like I would liken it to that. It's that like exhausting and that much like shallow interaction. Because I've done both. And my aunt's wedding, my family's all over the world. Like I have cousins in Australia, and my cousin in Australia punched my brother, and then my dad pulled him off my brother, and then my uncle like came and like.
That's his brother?
No, that was his sister's husband. His
brother-in-law. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And then my grandma started crying. Not tears of joy. Those were public tears of sadness. And then my aunt, whose wedding it was, like had to, 5-minute break she got from festivities, like came and then like cussed them both out. And I remember it was during my very first period, and I was having my very first period ever, like in India at this wedding. It was just so much going on. Like I will never forget top 10 like most dramatic moments of my life.
Oh my God. Do you think was your period triggered by all the violence? Well, and the upheaval, the energy, or do you think it was like, did you know what it was when it came?
I knew what it was when it came. I would say it wasn't actually my first period. Like I had maybe bled before, but it was my first real one that like lasted a few days and like hurt. And I also remember telling my mom, and she was like, don't tell any of these older people because some of them are superstitious and really religious and will think that you shouldn't be in this temple for this wedding. And so I remember feeling like I was carrying a very vicious secret.
You had to hide from the world, from the temple of, I don't know many of the Indian gods, but the one with the elephant with the many arms,
Yeah, Ganesh.
That's him. But I feel like Ganesh would have been cool with it. Elephants are chill.
I think literally they would have been so cool with it. I think all of religion is like that. Like the people in the stories, they were seeing some crazy fucking shit. So they would be good with.
they do say people from like thousands and thousands of years ago were always drunk or high. Did you know that? Because water for the most part was like not drinkable, so most of the time they would drink fermented drinks and stuff, so they would always be drunk. So you see why they have, like, I don't know. I don't want to get too like about religiousness. Like, I don't want to make this about. I literally was having this conversation with a buddy of mine yesterday. He's Afghani, and we were talking about God and stuff. And like, I do believe in God. However, I don't like believe that there's like a religion that is one that is correct. Do you know what I'm saying? And we live in Los Angeles. Nobody wants to admit that they pray, but they'll say shit like, "I'm manifesting.
It's all the same thing,
I'm
yeah.
speaking to the universe. I have crystals." Like, what's the difference between crystals and like prayer beads or like having a candle lit? Do you know what I'm saying? Or like burning sage. Like, it's all the same shit because you need to have some sort of energy to make you feel better about whatever this is. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like pleading to a higher power, but some of them are more organized than others. And I think it's just like every few years, like that shifts to a new thing because the stigma or whatever is different. But I think like, that's very much true.
You're praying, okay? You don't gotta hide from me, dog. It's okay. You're talking to God. that I found out because I said I was talking because a good friend of mine is actually he's Christian, and he stays with me a lot. And I was like, every couple of months, like I look to the sky and like I talk to the universe. He's like, "Bro, you're praying. You're fucking praying, dude."
People like, don't want to admit that they're praying.
You're right. I am praying. Shit, I do be praying.
Fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to the podcast, Pillow Fight. We're going to be doing fuck, marry, kill. Let's go.
The first one. Last week, Montana Governor Greg Gianforte signed a bill that bans TikTok statewide, starting on January 1st, 2024. After the new year, for every day that TikTok or app stores make the app available on personal devices in the state, they'll face a fine of $10,000. In response, TikTok has filed a lawsuit against the state of Montana, citing that the ban violates the First Amendment. Number two, Target has faced scrutiny over the past week after announcing that they have pulled some Pride merchandise from their shelves and are moving other merchandise to less visible parts of their stores. They said this decision came after alleged volatile circumstances, including threats impacting their team members' sense of safety and well-being while at work. Number three, despite being the number one supervillain in the ongoing WGA strike, Netflix has decided to up the ante and give us all another reason to hate them. In an email last week, the streaming conglomerate announced to its members that password sharing is now strictly prohibited, and members who want to share their accounts with people outside their homes can do so at the cost of $8 per month, additionally to the one they're paying already. This change comes after Netflix reported their first net subscriber loss in over a decade last year. So TikTok versus the state of Montana, Target cancels Pride, and Netflix cracks down on password sharing. Fuck, marry, kill. What would you do?
Okay, I'm going to fuck the Netflix story because I could hate fuck that story. We could do some very aggressive hate fucking. I'm going to kill the Target story because it bothers me. Obviously it's bad. Like I don't know if killing means like I don't want to hear the story, more of like that story is not a good story and it's like in the sense that I don't like what's going on over there. And then I'll marry the Montana ban because Montana, while I have been to Montana, while it is a very conservative state, it is a beautiful state. And not having TikTok probably would encourage me to go outside and hunt because they do that there and enjoy the wilderness that Montana has to offer. However, I should just say, TikTok did change my career. So I would realistically if I lived in Montana, I'd have to move because I'd still have to use TikTok.
Or your option is to hunt and just become a Republican.
Oh, exactly. Hunt and become a Republican. Yeah.
I think that's their goal is to kind of keep people from seeing stuff that wouldn't be in Montana otherwise.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like I would also kill the Target canceling Pride situation because every level to it feels like annoying. One, I think the whole issue of like Pride merchandise is like just this corporation is going to make money off of like some demographic that is like fiending for representation already.
Yeah.
So that already like kind of is weird. And then for Target to move stuff around and then say it's like because it's impacting team members, it's like, if you really cared that much about these team members, like you'd just pay them more, you know? That's
yeah, 100%.
So I think every layer of this is annoying and irritating to me. And I feel like Target gets the Trader Joe's treatment in the media, where it's like this corporation that I think oftentimes people are like, oh, but they're so nice and I love them and like they're the best vibes. And that might be true, but they're still, you know.
None of them are good, dude.
Yeah.
None of them are good. And I like Target. I shop there, but like, and I mean, we just like, we got to use all this, we got to use everything that exists. I don't know how to like, like, for example, like when people be like, you got to go live sustainably. And it's like, all right, I'll take a water bottle somewhere. And like, okay, for example, Florida, okay, Ron DeSantis is doing some wild shit with immigrants. And he's also passing this bill to basically allow the state to take away transgender kids from their family. So like you have somebody like Disney who is fighting back, and you know, you kind of like use the money, you know what I mean, to like fight back. So then I'm like, do I not do a show? Because I have 2 shows in Miami. I have a show in Miami and a show in Tampa. So now, do I not go to those cities because I don't agree with the politics of this state? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a complicated issue because like you performing in Miami is not you performing a private concert for Ron DeSantis. Like the people in Miami are still people with like personhood, and a lot of them being impacted by these bad policies. And I think that is so easy to just be like, fuck this state, fuck that state, like fuck everyone in this. But those people are being impacted so much more heavily. Like the marginalized people in Florida are like actually suffering from those things.
100%.
So. And yeah, I think like it's not on us to never shop at Target again. Like, what are you gonna do? People need paper towels. It's on Target to like start doing better shit with their money.
You know, for some people in smaller towns, Target is like a day trip. Like that's like the fun thing to do is go to Target.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the suburbs, and that was for sure a fun activity.
We're going to Target.
Like, I would save up my allowance, and then it would be like a big Target day, and I just spend all this money on like dumb shit.
What were you buying at Target? What's the dumbest shit you bought at Target?
There was this nail polish that you'd put on top of like nail polish, and it would like start cracking, and it was just so ugly. Like looking back, it was like the ugliest thing ever, but it was a trend, and so people would buy it. And I would also go like ham in the dollar section.
Ooh, yeah. Rich. You feel rich. Feel wealthy. That's what it feels like to be a billionaire. You can buy all the cars you want. That's what it feels like to be Roy, Kendall Roy, Shiv Roy, Kendall Roy, Logan Roy, Waystar Royco. I literally just did an interview with LA Times yesterday about, because I'm doing like a little press tour for this special, and they were talking about comedy specials and streamers and how streamers just aren't buying comedy specials. FYI, if and when you decide to put a comedy special out, they probably will say no, because just there's people more famous than me, you know. They don't really need to do that anymore. Like they can just see what's popular on YouTube, and then if it's good, they'll just like buy it later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this. There's like just a lot. There's a lot out there. You know?
Yeah. Hence why you would hate fuck Netflix.
Yeah, I hate fuck Netflix. I'd fuck the shit out of Netflix. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's moving stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I would fuck the TikTok Montana thing because there's a lot going on, and I feel like it's like would be feisty and fun, and it would be nice to not have to deal with it and live with it.
Sorry, I forgot that was still on.
Yeah, it would be fun to just get in, observe the chaos, have a good time, get out, and then watch it, marry someone else, and be happy for them that I don't have to be a part of that anymore.
Feel that.
And then I would marry, I guess, the Netflix thing, because it's like the devil you know, and you can kind of predict its bad qualities and work around them and kind of learn to live with them. And it's just minorly inconveniencing. And I guess it's doing bad things sometimes, but it's not necessarily doing them directly to you. $8 a month is an inconvenience for sure, but we are living in the same household, so we wouldn't have to.
Yeah. So like if you pay $12 a month, so then it's just an additional $8 if they're going to use your password in a different home.
I was going to ask you, obviously, I don't think that anybody wants to be killed, but if your name came up in a fuck, marry, kill, would you rather have people answer fuck or marry?
Fuck for sure. I think I'm really good at sex, so I want people to really enjoy that. So, you know what I mean?
Own it.
By the way, anybody who's really, really good at sex, like really good at it, you're gonna have, when if you're in a committed relationship, it's probably gonna be like toxic or difficult with that person.
If you're really good at sex, it's always gonna be like that.
If you're doing crazy shit in the bedroom, like, the problem is I've done so much crazy stuff that like, like there's so many things that are on my menu. You just want certain things on the menu, and I'll tell you what: if you can't get what you want on the menu at home, you're gonna find.
You gotta go to a different restaurant.
You're gonna have to go to a different restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta be well fed.
Every once in a while, like if your favorite food is sushi, I could eat sushi all the time, but every once in a while, I'm gonna want a cheeseburger, or vice versa.
Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
In honor of AAPI month, Mindy Kaling has posted a since-edited Instagram caption that read, "This year, I was honored to visit Washington, D.C. and celebrate at a breakfast generously hosted by Madam Vice President at Kamala Harris and Second Gentleman at Douglas Emhoff, forever solidifying the wonderful generalization that a lot of Jewish men love Asian women." 5 minutes later, the caption just read, "I love these two leaders and think they're a great couple in addition to being great citizens." Obviously, that's like a low tier publicity error compared to a lot of things that have happened. But would you rather be a PR person who is in charge of doing damage control for a post like that, or the celebrity who is getting the main flack for it?
As somebody who just hired a publicist for the next couple months, I would rather be the publicist. I think because at the end of the day, you're not in the spotlight. You know what I mean? Your digital footprint, your footprint on the universe is smaller than, because like if a celebrity messes up, as the publicist, you weren't there when they made that decision. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like you can have plausible deniability if you're trying to get other clients. As the celebrity, if you do something like that, everybody's going to hate you. And that doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? I fear that in the last couple of interviews that I've done, it's for the first. I did my first little TMZ thing yesterday, which was planned out. Now there's no guarantee that it's going to make the cut, but I don't know if it was planned out. Basically, it's like, I was at the airport a couple months ago, and this guy came up to me and was like, "I'm a fan of yours. Work at TMZ. This is my number. Let's exchange info. Anytime you're flying in or out, we could set something up. We'll post it up. If you got something to promote, and then we'll do like a quick little interview with you. Like, and lo and behold, like finally we set something up. I showed up yesterday to LAX, and they were there with a little camera, and we were literally talking about streamers and like, do they have the same, and like it was interesting. So then I think should I say something crazy, outlandish that I don't even mean, or like just so it makes the news? Like I gotta say some crazy shit, because that's what it is. Like the publicity is really just the art of staying in the public zeitgeist, doing or saying weird shit. I was just gonna say, as far as what Mindy Kaling did, I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, I think she's a comedian, dude.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, I feel like we have neither seen nor heard Kamala Harris in the last 3-4 years. So I don't know where she's at or what she's doing, but I'm praying for her, talking to the universe for her, and I hope that things are good.
You didn't see that video of her where it looked like she was on like Adderall, alcohol.
No, is that real?
Weed at the same time. No, she always is like talks like that. Like she's on some incredibly fun cocktail of drugs.
She's just a goofy gal, and I would be too if I was the vice president. If I was the first Asian American black vice president of a country that is like for sure 50% super racist still. You know what I mean? Are you stressed out? Getting death threats all the time. So let her pop. She could pop a Klonopin every now and then. And does she have kids?
She has stepkids, but not kids.
So she's still tight.
She's girl bossing.
Yeah, like what I just said there. That's a PR issue. Me referring to the vice president's coochie. That's a PR issue for sure. Okay.
Well, she's definitely the hottest vice president we've ever had.
I mean, would hit for sure.
I think that like a smaller scale PR thing, like the one that Mindy Kaling just had, where it's like a little like line that's like funny and maybe read wrong. It's easier to be the celebrity than the publicist, because I'm sure the publicist is like sitting there biting their nails over this, and Mindy Kaling's like, I've faced bigger shit every single day.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big deal. But like somebody's yelling at her publicist, and like Mindy Kaling's probably like, what are you talking about? And it's like a stressful thing for that specific person in that day of the life of their job. I think if it's a bigger deal, then it's for sure worse to be the celebrity. But I also think at a certain point when you are a PR person and it's a big deal, you're like, I've said this before on this podcast, like it always is so telling to me when someone's PR person quits. Like that, I feel like that's how you know they've really done some bad shit.
Yeah, it's always upsetting you hear about famous people going off, and it's just like, you got everything. Just go to therapy and just fix. You're spending all this money on all this other shit. Take like a couple months off, go to therapy, figure it out, come back so we could fix it. So that way you could keep earning your bread. You know what I mean?
So Margot Robbie revealed in a recent interview with Vogue that Greta Gerwig's first choice for Barbie was Gal Gadot. A few months back, White Lotus star Haley Lu Richardson also said that she was in talks to play Dani in Midsommar, which is the role that put Florence Pugh on the map. Would you rather lose a career-defining role or opportunity to someone else, or be the person who got the role and have people be like, actually, like I wish it was the person that the director initially wanted?
I would rather lose the career-defining role. I just there's always going to be some sort of career-defining. You define your career, not somebody else. For getting philosophical about it, you define your career, and I mean, you're gonna like if you get a role that you like do well enough in, people are gonna connect with it and remember it, and it's gonna be special to a certain group of people. Like for example, what movie was it? Oh, like The Matrix. Like, do you know that Will Smith was supposed to be Neo in The Matrix? And then they pitched it to him, and then he was like, I don't really understand this. Like, the pitch is bad. And then instead he did the movie Wild Wild West. Now, do you think that Will Smith regrets not doing, like, his career is immense, and the number one and ironically, the number one defining moment in his whole life was slapping Chris Rock in the face at the Oscars. So it wasn't even a role in a movie. Like, you could literally define your whole career in one moment. It doesn't even got to be a whole role. So, Margot Robbie, who honestly, I'm glad she's Barbara. I prefer her in the role of Barbie than Gal Gadot. Also, who's to say like Margot Robbie? She was really great in the ice skating movie. She's just a tremendous actor. She's like really good at everything she does. She's like the I want to go. I'm going on a limb. She's like the Meryl Streep of our generation. That's how I feel, at least. If you saw her in what was that movie, Babylon? And the movie in a whole I was like, whatever. But she was so tremendous in that movie. Like everything I don't think I've seen her in one movie where she gives a bad performance. Even in Suicide Squad, fuck Gal Gadot.
It's funny because there were so many people that were supposed to be Barbie before it was Margot Robbie, and I think she ultimately is the right choice. When I was making that Would You Rather, I wasn't like thinking that she kind of people are happy it's her, I think, generally.
Oh yeah. I agree. I agree. And I think it's gonna be great.
Truth or dare? Truth or dare?
I'll go first. Let's do it. Truth or dare?
I'll kick it off with a dare. Why not?
All right. Call in a bomb threat to LAX. And I'm fucking with you. Could you imagine? All right. Okay. This is a simple one. I want you to pick somebody on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you who. You could pick whoever it is. Actually, ideally, I'd like it to be somebody you have a crush on, but I don't want to have to expose.
Okay.
That requires a truth and a dare. I want you to. It's like so, but essentially, I'd want you to pick one of these people, and I want you to scroll down to like 5 months ago and just like 2 of their photos or something. Just like double tap 2 of their photos.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get the ball rolling. Get a little flirting going. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
I can do that without revealing the person's name on here, can I? Right? Or do you want me?
Well, I'll tell you what. You show me, but we don't have to say who they are on the podcast.
Can it be like somebody I'm talking to?
No, it's got to be somebody.
I'll
tell you what. Yeah, I mean, I when I wrote this down, it seemed more spicy, but like I wanted it to be somebody who would be like, why are they liking this? Months ago.
I'm trying to think because right now I feel like I have kind of nobody that is a crush that I haven't really
reached out to,
engaged, broken the barrier with.
Okay, then let's do this one. I don't know how many of these we do. Then we'll do a different one. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to reply to the first 5 Instagram stories on your timeline. Like, so 5 people.
Yeah.
I just want you to write, OMG, this is sick.
Okay. The first one is, and it's a show
That's
poster.
Funny.
Her show poster. She says, I'm in this, and I also made the poster.
So, you're in the poster?
Not me, but she says, I'm in this, and I also made the poster. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. The next story. Oh no.
Who is it?
Somebody that I know, like friend of a friend of a friend who just got fired.
Oh my God, you gotta do it.
Okay, I said I'll explain later, I guess, but OMG, this is sick.
Oh
the next
God.
one is my friend's close friend story. It's with one of those filters that's like, what kind of bird are you?
Okay.
OMG, this is sick. This next one is another close friend story. Somebody posting like a quote tweet of Taylor Swift announcing that she was going to have Ice Spice on her new album, like the remix of one of her songs. And the quote tweet says, I don't know if you know this, but your boyfriend was calling her all kinds of slurs on a podcast months ago.
Oh my God, this is sick.
OMG, this
Did you hear that people are selling the water from the Boston show from Taylor, the rain? So like it rained during Taylor Swift's Boston show.
They're selling the rain?
So, and they like saved it in a jar or a cup, and then they're selling it on eBay and shit. So funny.
How much is it going for?
I don't know. I have to Google it. I just saw a headline about that. People selling rain from Tay Swift.
Dang.
Let's see. Taylor Swift tried to sell jars of rainwater. Yeah, it's true. Oh, for $250. Fascinating.
That's a lot of money for rainwater. Okay, the
Wow.
last one is a picture of a guy I know who said, "I'm trying to be the male Julia Louis-Dreyfus." OMG, this is sick.
Interesting. I mean, I think that'd be great. I'd like to be that.
Yeah, that sounds like a phenomenal career. Okay,
Mm.
5. OMG, this is 6.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Sorry,
All right, my turn.
I couldn't like
That's okay.
anyone's stories. Truth or
Okay.
dare?
I'll go truth.
Okay, this is like
I'm
kind
afraid
of
of the dares.
silly and tame. Just if you could add one like stupid thing to the US Constitution, what would it be and why? Like one stupid thing that you think should be law.
People who don't pull into the center of an intersection to make a left turn should have their license revoked immediately. If you don't pull up when it turns green, immediately should be revoked.
That's such an LA
immediately should be revoked.
One. I feel like I'm always behind people with license plates that are not California and they're like not moving into the intersection and they keep trying to wait for like a spot. And I'm like, you're never going to get that here. Have to go. You're going to have to go on the yellow light. So when you first started talking, I thought you were going to say that people who pull backwards into parking spots should have something done to them.
Oh, I'm not going to murder anybody. All right. Truth or dare?
I'll go with the truth.
Okay. Let's see here. Who was your, you don't have to name this person by name, but who was your worst sexual partner and why?
Worst, like in terms of the sex itself?
Yeah, like why was the sex? Like who was this person to you? Were they a boyfriend or was it a hookup? And then why was it so bad?
I would say in college there was one really bad person that I hooked up with only once. Like we'd been talking for weeks, and then
I just also realized this question could totally like ignite feelings of like open up old wounds, and I'm sorry.
No,
because for a woman it's different. It's like, well, I was completely blacked out, assaulted.
Well, so I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go like bad sexual experience that is like kind of funny.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And so I was hooking up with this guy who I found out like had been engaged in high school, which random. That's just a side note. But we're hooking up. One, he's just so skinny that his like hip bones are hurting me. Like they're just like no position that we're in. His hip bones are not actively causing me pain.
Yeah.
They're just not so that like, that's not his fault. That's not his fault, but
the sextress, as they say, the sexual Tetris was just not.
The sextress was not computing.
Yeah. And
then also he was so dead silent, like no sounds, no words, no nothing. And I don't know, like it's hard. I also have ADHD. If you don't give me something to focus on, like something else I'm going to be thinking about dinner tomorrow and that's not going to be fun for anyone. So that was weird. And I asked him, I was like, so like, do you like this? And he said, if I don't like it, I'll tell you.
Yeah. But that's what it is, man. People just in college, like they just don't be. I thought I knew how to fuck, but I didn't know how to fuck until like I was like in my late 20s, maybe early 30s, like really know what I was doing. Like, let me tell you something. This is the biggest erogenous zone. Okay. This right here.
It's true.
Okay. This is the biggest erogenous right here.
If you're not watching, if you're just listening, he's pointing to that big old brain.
The brain. What if I'm like pointing? I like took this right here. She's like, okay, well, it was great having you on. No, but for sure the brain. And like I'm very vocal as far as like my dirty talk. And so, I think I hooked up with a girl once. I think she like laughed at me during it because I think she had never had somebody talk so much during the experience, But I don't know. I have found that is a good thing to do.
Personally. I think it's better. It's also like you can work in the unsexy things and make them sexy if you're talking. Like, there's so much of sex that's like funny and awkward that you can make that stuff be part
like,
of
when
a
I take this
hot
little hair off
scene.
of my tongue, girl. I'm gonna flick this hair over there, girl. That's what I thought.
Literally just like that. But yeah, and then this guy also, so it was in the dorm rooms. I was like, I gotta go pee. I went to go pee. He says like, oh, it's like there's a unisex bathroom on my floor. I go into the bathroom at like 3 a.m. This guy comes in the bathroom, starts screaming, and is like, there's a girl in the bathroom. I was like, fuck. Like, whatever. I ran back.
What?
I ran back to his
girl
room.
alert, girl alert, girl alert. Like, what, dude? Relax, bro.
And I run back to the bathroom, or run back to his room. I like knock on the door, whatever. He's fallen asleep. It's locked. It's fully locked. I was not gone very long, maybe 2 minutes. He's fallen asleep. I bang and I bang. Eventually, like, I know I have friends in the building, and I've, thank God, taken my phone with me to the bathroom. So I find someone else's like room to like hang out in, basically, until the night passes. And then starting that morning, he was like pledging a frat, and it was like Hell Week or whatever. And the rules of that frat pledging was that they couldn't speak to anyone besides for school, about anything that was not related to the frat. Like, they had to only talk to people in the frat or like about the frat stuff. So I had like left my phone charger and like my keys to my room and all that stuff in his room. And I had to then go get like an older guy in the frat to like go fish all my stuff out of his room for me, because I was like not allowed to speak to him because he was taking the frat pledging so seriously. So
Dumbass.
It all made
not
for
you,
a pretty
but
bad
like
experience.
the fraternity stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like funny. It's a funny story in retrospect, and yeah.
I once had a girl a long time ago. Like, she was giving me head, and she had to she was like rubbing the top of my, like a genie lamp, and
yeah.
I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. I've even seen like sex blogs talk about that. Like, women are like, men love this, and it's like, oh, no, they don't.
I don't think you can generalize. I think that's a huge part of like the first time you have sex with someone new. You're like kind of finding out what the last person that they were really hooking up with really liked. That's really what it tells you. All the things that they're just assuming that you're going to want to do. And a lot of times this thing's just not generalizable.
No, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to offer the menu and ask them what's on it. Ask them what they want off of it.
That's true.
Yeah. Again, not something you would find out if you don't talk.
Right. No. Yeah. The silent thing, I think it's bizarre to be silent. It's creepy. It's scary.
Silent with like no music on too. So it's like extra silent.
No music on?
Yeah.
No. Weird.
Yeah. Truth or dare?
Truth or dare. I guess I should do a dare because you did a dare and a truth, and so did I, right?
I'll give you one that's kind of up your alley.
Okay.
If you go in your notes app and find like something random in there, could you give us a musical performance with that as the lyrical text?
Yeah, so let's see. I have a bunch of stuff here. Let's go to we could literally just go to my, where is it? Creative thoughts, feelings. Oh yeah, it's funny because my girlfriend just walked in the the apartment, and we were at dinner. I want to say we were at dinner yesterday, and she pulled up a photo of her. Like, there was this wedding going on, and she pulled up a photo, and she was like, I fucked that guy, and then I gave that dude head all in the same night. And I wanted to do a bit about when your girl talks to you about her hoe ears.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be funny. Do you hear me talking about you? I got it wrong? What did you do? All right, so you fucked 2 of them one night, and then what? One of them a separate night, and then you sucked another dude's random dick a different. Okay, great, cool. I just want to make sure we got that cleared up. That's fantastic. Okay, let's just put a beat on. Let's Okay, hold up. Yeah. What's the auto tune key for this one? Yeah. Hold up. Yeah, yo. Friday night, we at the party. My coochie, it's throbbing. So many dudes, not enough time. I gotta get in, gotta get mine. Gonna fuck 2 on Friday night. Gonna fuck another one Saturday. It's alright. And Sunday, gonna find a stranger. Gonna put his ding dong in my mouth. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go. We in the whole years. Let's go. Thank you so much. Although I never really made it clear that it wasn't me in the like. Now it sounds like I did all that in this song. Like I was in my whole years. You know.
Well, that's now you have a round of edits for the next version.
Fantastic. Well, great. I mean, this was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed our time together.
Me too. Thank you so much for joining me. Where can my listeners find you and give them info about your special, because it will have just come out when.
Yes. So everybody, please go to morganj.com. Comedy special is dropping Wednesday, May 31st, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm also on Wild 'N Out. And what else have I done? We're out there. Just Google my name, Morgan J, J-A-Y, and I'll see y'all there. See y'all later.
Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to check out Morgan's new special, and don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this feed so you never miss an episode of Pillow Fight ever again. Love ya. Bye.